He preached simplicity, yet lived in luxury. He wrote of inner peace, yet served a bloodthirsty emperor. He taught detachment from fortune, yet was one of the richest men in Rome. This is the paradox of Seneca. If you've ever wrestled with wealth and purpose, with building a business while trying not to lose your soul, you're not alone. Seneca got there first. And for the modern entrepreneur, his contradiction isn't a flaw to cancel, it's a mirror to study. So let's ask the uncomfortable question. Can a rich man be virtuous? And if yes, how? Seneca lived at the height of the Roman Empire. He was no ordinary philosopher writing from obscurity. He was a senator, an advisor to Nero, and a man whose wealth in today's terms would place him firmly in the billionaire class. Yet in his writings, from his letters to Lucilius to his dialogues on happiness and providence, he championed the ideals of Stoicism, temperance, detachment, simplicity, virtue over luxury. To modern readers, this sounds hypocritical. How could the man who owned sprawling estates and dined in opulence preach about self-restraint? But that question only scratches the surface, because Seneca didn't ignore the contradiction. He addressed it head-on. He knew what it looked like, and he wrestled with it. He once wrote, "I do not yet live as a wise man, nor shall I ever do so." That wasn't false modesty. It was clarity. The Stoic path for him was not perfection, it was progress. So what did he actually believe about wealth? To understand Seneca, we need to separate two things: ownership and attachment. Seneca argued that wealth, like health or social status, is neither good nor bad by itself. It's what we do with it and how it shapes us that determines its moral weight. He saw money not as poison, but as a test of whether we could use it without being used by it. He explained that a wise man could possess wealth, just as he might possess a strong body or a good reputation, but he would never lean on it, never be defined by it. He could give it up tomorrow and not grieve. This was the ideal. Whether Seneca himself ever fully achieved it is up for debate. But that doesn't invalidate the idea. If anything, it shows us how difficult and essential the challenge really is. What if the true danger of wealth isn't greed, but dependence? Seneca made his fortune through land, influence, and lending. Critics then, and now, have pointed to this with suspicion. But what he emphasized in his philosophy was not the denial of wealth, but the way it is earned and the reasons it is used. He warned against making money through cruelty or deceit. He condemned greed that harms the soul. And he stressed that luxury becomes rot the moment it controls your choices. So how did he rationalize his own lifestyle? He claimed that virtue is compatible with wealth, if that wealth is used for the right purposes, for helping others, for building up the state, for philosophical leisure, and most importantly, for testing the strength of one's detachment. A Stoic, in his view, doesn't throw away wealth to appear moral, nor does he cling to it in fear. He carries it lightly. Which begs the modern question: are you building a business to free yourself, or just building a prettier cage? Fast forward 2,000 years. You're a founder. You want to scale, grow, make money. And yet, you also feel the pull of something deeper: to live a meaningful life, to not get swallowed by the machine you're building. This is the Senecan paradox in modern clothes. We tell ourselves we'll slow down once we hit a certain number, that we'll rest once the exit comes. That virtue can wait. But Seneca would challenge that. He'd ask, why postpone freedom? Why delay simplicity? Why wait until you're rich to learn how to live with less? He'd remind you that building wealth without first understanding your values is like pouring water into a cracked jar. No matter how much you add, it will never feel full. In his words, you act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. You want forever to enjoy what won't last. That's the trap. Near the end of his life, Seneca was forced to commit suicide on Nero's command. He had power, influence, status, and none of it could save him. What mattered then wasn't his bank balance. It was his integrity. He faced death the way a true Stoic would, with calm, with composure, with principle. And in that final act, he proved what he had always written, that the only real wealth is the strength of your soul. Modern entrepreneurs may not face emperors, but we face our own tyrants, market pressures, social comparison, internal ambition gone wild. Seneca's lesson is this: don't wait until your deathbed to realize that wealth was never the point. The point was always how you lived. So, can a rich man be virtuous? Seneca would say yes, but only if he remembers that wealth is a tool, not a trophy, a means, not an identity. For the modern builder, the founder, the dreamer chasing both success and meaning. This is the Stoic invitation. Build boldly, earn ethically, live simply, and carry your fortune the way Seneca carried his, lightly, like a man ready to walk away. Because in the end, the richest man is not the one who has the most. It's the one who needs the least.